What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, Chrissyy Talks. Y'all can call me Chrissyy, and let's go ahead and jump right into this. So Angela Kukawski, also went by Angie, was a 55-year-old mother of 5 who was also Los Angeles business manager with clients ranging from Nicki Minaj and the Migos to Kanye West, the Kardashians, and even the Tupac Shakur estate. Now, December 22nd, Angie was reported missing from the Sherman Oaks neighborhood where she lived in Los Angeles. The next day, on December 23rd at 2 in the morning, the Los Angeles Police Department reached out to the Simi Valley Police in order to step into their jurisdiction to continue on the investigation of this missing persons case. Unfortunately, 1 hour later, the police did find a car parked on the Simi Valley street with a body inside of the trunk. This body was later presumed to be 55-year-old Angela Kukawski. Police suspect that Angela's 49-year-old boyfriend, Jason Barker, is responsible for her murder. Detectives believe that he murdered her in their home in Sherman Oaks, and then he drove out to Simi Valley and left her body in the car. What's stupid about this is he actually stayed and was later found at a relative's house on the same street where he dumped Angie's body. So police arrested him, and he is currently detained and was initially held for a $2 million bond, which was raised to $3 million. He is being held and charged with one felony account of murder and another count of torture, which I feel like is kind of different. I feel like most of the time people just get charged with counts of murder, attempted murder, premeditated murder, and so forth. Now, detectives do believe that the murder weapon was a knife and a firearm, and the coroner came back with a report stating that Angie had sharp and blunt force trauma to the head and the neck, as well as strangulation, so it was deemed a homicide. I do wonder where the torture part came in, because I don't hear this, torture count being charged with people who strangle somebody or straight up shoot somebody. So it's really interesting to hear that charge, especially because even though a knife was considered to be a possible murder weapon, they didn't talk about any stab wounds found on her body. With her being an LA business manager to a lot of celebrities, of course some celebrities spoke out surrounding her death. Nicki Minaj herself stated, "Hardest working, most reliable, sweetest person you could ever know. You didn't deserve this, Angela. My heart is breaking for your children. Rest in peace." The Kardashian family sent out a statement to people saying, "Angela was truly the best. She cared about every one of us and made things happen that were impossible. She will be greatly missed, and we send our sincere condolences to her family and loved ones during this most difficult time." I'm glad that at least the celebrities that she worked with took the time out of their day to send their condolences, because you can see that it wasn't just a simple business transaction type of relationship between them. I was trying to find some family of Angie's just to see if her children noticed anything off between her relationship with Jason, to see if there was any type of abuse or anything. But I don't even think Angie has a social media account herself. Again, the charge for torture is not sitting right with me. The charge says that the torture was either done for revenge or some other type of sadistic purpose, and that's not a charge that you see a lot, so I really wonder what could have happened, but not too many details have been released surrounding her death. However, I do also want to send my love and thoughts to Angie and her family, and I hope that she does get some justice for it, and if Jason did it, he at least, comes out with an explanation to her kids, even though he can't do nothing at this point to bring her back. And because this is a short video, I'm back to add in another quick story about a 23-year-old beautiful black woman by the name of Lauren Smith Fields, who was found dead in her apartment on December 12th, earlier this month. Now, there is not a lot of details surrounding her death, and her family are still seeking out answers because the police are not being helpful, and I feel like this is an important story to say, especially because a lot of people are meeting people off of dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, BlackPeopleMeet.com, and so forth, Plenty of Fish. And so this is just a reminder, not only should we stay our asses home because of this corona shit, but like, you never know who's on the internet. And I feel like if Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer were alive and free today, they would go crazy and go stupid on dating apps. I feel like it's like a shopping list for serial killers at this point. So now, Lauren Smith Fields was found unresponsive in her home in Bridgeport, New York on December 12th. She was found dead in her apartment after meeting up with an older white man who has not been identified, and he was the one who actually called in police. Now, even though this older white man found Lauren unresponsive and called in the police, he was not taken in for questioning, which I feel like is definitely a red flag. Another red flag is that an autopsy was committed on Lauren. However, for some reason the medical examiner is not releasing the details surrounding her death yet, and investigators are not commenting on the case. Now, the family has publicly criticized the police and saying that they're not doing the basic protocol, and they even paid out of pocket to perform a second autopsy and find out what's going on.
It's killing me inside. I miss my baby. Without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user, and I had a second autopsy myself, paid out of pocket, because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled.
According to her family, she wasn't a drug user, so they felt like they had to do another autopsy, especially because when people die under mysterious circumstances and the police are acting sketchy, more than half of the time the autopsy doesn't make sense as well, or their autopsy doesn't correspond with how their family knew their relative. The family also expressed that the detective that they were dealing with was very insensitive, arrogant.
The only contact that we have had was from a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective.
Lauren's dad reading a scathing statement saying police failed to extend the most basic courtesies and told his family to stop calling.
The dad actually stated that he was allegedly told by police to no longer call them surrounding his daughter's death. And Lauren's brother, Lakeem Jeter, stated that he was questioning why the older white man was not taken into questioning or not seen as a suspect, to which the investigators allegedly stated that he was a nice guy and didn't need to be investigated.
I asked him about the guy. He just made it seem like the guy was a nice guy. It was nothing to investigate.
If the police tells you that this person is a nice guy and doesn't need to be investigated, they need to be investigated. Now, according to her family, Lauren was a track star at Stanford High School and she was currently attending community college. She also started her own side business to help fund her education. Her death is still an ongoing investigation. However, according to her family, again, the police were not really cooperative. And it's just really making me uneasy, the fact that she was found by an older white man. And it's not like he was random or a stranger or a passerby or a neighbor, but he was someone that she was supposed to meet with off a dating website. So with him having access to her home and him finding her and them two planning on meeting, I feel like he should definitely be a suspect or definitely be at least questioned. What really irritates me is that police act like none of their family members could be in the same situation. Like, you should treat all of your cases like it's your own family, because imagine them being your family. Like, imagine not knowing what happened to your family member who passed away. And the group of people who's supposed to help you are being helpless, you know? But my heart goes out to them, and I also say this story to, again, say to be careful with any dating apps. Like, child, I've done some stupid stuff. I remember when I was 18 years old, I used Tinder, and this was the first time I went over someone's house. I went over their house at like midnight and I slept over. Luckily, he had his family in the house, but like, that was dumb, okay? That was some dumb shit. It's not like back in the day where you could easily have a one-night stand with somebody and leave the next day. Nowadays, you can have a one-night stand and end up dead. Like, you cannot just be as free as we could have been back in the day. And of course, the race dynamic in this case makes it that much more worse. And I really wish they would identify who this older white man is, because you never know who he is or what kind of connections he has. But y'all, please be careful out in these real streets and these virtual streets. But that is in my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down what you guys think below. I'm on Instagram and my Snapchat at Chrissyy Talks and h.chrissyy, 2 S's, 2 Y's. I love and appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye guys, and happy holidays. Stay safe.
She the God, she the God, she the God.